What's up? Understand that you aren't a chosen one as a black man. Reality. Now, one of the things that I hate to hear from people, and you see it all over the internet, YouTube, just social media, and you will hear people just say it like, I'm a chosen one. I'm chosen one. I'm destined for greatness. I'm going to be somebody regardless. And I don't like that simply because people just blindly, and it's not bad to blindly to believe in yourself, but it brings it's a detriment because people think good things are going to happen to them automatically without them putting in some type of work or working for it. And that is the problem that I have. And as a black man, and as black men, we don't need to adopt a line of thinking that good is just going to happen to us and we're not going to have to work for it. I'm starting to understand that even with a relationship with God, a relationship with anything in life, it requires you to focus. It requires you to focus. It requires you to put in work. It requires you to try. And the thing that I'm really understanding is that we don't need to get inside of a mentality where we think we're just gonna get handouts and we're just gonna be great and it doesn't matter and we don't have to really put in work or focus on being somebody. I oftentimes look at a lot of things on the internet where I see, it may be a guy who's making a lot of money and he has a lifestyle that's very desirable, and I be in my head like I'm like, oh, dang, this dude younger than me and he got this type of lifestyle, he got this type of money, he got this type of, whatever. And I understand that I don't need to sit and wait on chance or luck. All right. I need to work as hard and as fast as I can towards my goal to get to it as fast as I can. But I have to understand that it takes effort, it takes work, right? So you can't be a person that's afraid of the process, but you also can't be a person that's gonna be you can't accept incremental success. You have to be trying to get there as fast as possible. That's a thing that I'm a advocate of. Try to get to your goals as fast as possible. Don't accept just the little small progress. Don't be in the mentality of it's just about small progress. Be in the mentality of trying to get there as fast as you can. Obviously, that's just, the wording, but you should just be focused on putting in the work and getting there as fast as you can. You shouldn't be in a mentality where you just think things are just going to work out for you and you're not going to have to worry about it or not worry about it. You're not going to have to be at a place where you're going to have to put in that much work and it's just going to happen for you. Are there people in this world who get lucky? Of course. There's people who in this world who get lucky, who inherit money, who, they just land on things and they may have money now. They may be, can take care of themselves comfortably now. But I'm understanding, man. I get to these points in my life where sometimes I'm not doing anything other than just probably just going to work. And usually when I get in that mentality, I start to really feel bad about myself and I start to really think about my future. Like, okay, if I'm not working on anything now, how's my future going to look? Right? Because I'm not a person that wants to, you know, I want to be my own boss at the end of the day in the future. And I understand that if you're not working on anything now, you don't need to be in this mentality of, you know what, I'm gonna just be all right regardless because that's what I want to do and I believe in myself. But at the same time, you're not working towards it, right? You got to be working towards it. You got to be working. You got to be focused on that goal. You got to have a goal. And I think it's a lot of black men who we get inside of a mentality where they get into this spiritual thing where they just think everything will happen for them and they don't have to work for anything. I'm not saying it's bad to trust in God and believe in God, but understand how reality works. And in reality, it focus the focus is you putting in the work. That's the only way you're gonna change your life. Putting in the work, disciplining yourself, going against how you feel. This is something that I think 90% of people wrestle with. But I would say with black men, there needs to be more of an emphasis on it because I'm a black man and I really focus on black men because I grew up around black men. The majority of my friends were black men. And I think that there just needs to be an emphasis on creativity and uh being your own person and not just being a person who doesn't think. And I think oftentimes in the black community we have people who don't think. And that doesn't come from nothing. To me, that comes from, the former history we had, like we were enslaved and stuff, but that's not what I'm trying to make this video specifically about, but it's a part of it. The main thing that I'm just trying to push across is that don't blindly believe in yourself if you're not putting in the work. If you're not putting in the work, there's no need for you to act like everything is going to work out. And I'm all for positivity. I'm all for positive thinking, right? But you really dig yourself in a ditch when you say you're going to be somebody, but you're not even working towards being that person, right? A lot of people want to be millionaires, but they're not working on how to become a millionaire. They just think it's just gonna happen for them one day and it's just gonna happen. No. This is why it's very important to have a structure, to have a plan, to work on something, to have a goal for the future. Don't be one of these people who just think, well, it's just gonna work out for me and I'm gonna be good because I'm a chosen one. I don't like that mentality, man, because 90% of people have that mentality. A lot of younger people have that mentality. And that's something that I know I need to get away from. And I'm glad I understand it because I know that it takes a goal, it takes a plan, it takes some type of structure for you to have long term success and for you to see the fruits of your labor, the reward of you putting in that work. If you're just this person who doesn't put in the work, put in any work, who doesn't have any goals, who doesn't have any structure, any plan for their future or who they want to become, you're not going to reach that goal. It doesn't matter how much you believe in yourself and how much you say is going to happen. It takes plan, structure, goals, commitment, and discipline for you to really reach your goals. And that goes against the line of thinking that it's just going to happen for me. No, I'm telling you right now, nothing is going to happen for you if you don't put in any type of work. If you don't have any type of plan, any type of structure, any type of discipline, it's not going to work out for you. And that's a harsh reality. A lot of people just, oftentimes I see a lot of people who are super religious. They don't put in any work for anything, and they just blindly just say, "Oh, I'm gonna be okay at the end of the day because X, Y, and Z, and X, Y, and Z, and X, Y, and Z, and I'm gonna be all right." But they have no goal towards what they want to be, no goals towards what they want to do. They just think, "Oh, blindly, I'm gonna just be all right." And I'm not against people that believe in God and are super religious because I believe in God myself, right? But I am starting to understand you get nowhere when you put in no work. And that's just facts. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Peace out.